Hello, everyone. It is that time of the week. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday and it's 6:30. It is Wednesday and it is 6:30, which means what? That's right. Through the eyes of others with Aaron and Lisa Kaye. We are so happy to be here again. We have something a little special for us this week that I think we'll enjoy, and I hope you do. Um, Lisa, I've got some thunder rumblings up here where I'm at, and a little lightning, but I think I'm good. I think I'm good. And today is a wonderful day. It's the one that we have. It's the one that we have to work with, and it's the one we're gonna make. We're gonna make the best of. My sidekick, my partner. She always says we're partners in crime. My buddy, one of my favorite people that has ever breathed oxygen. Lisa Kaye is on with us. This is Aaron and Lisa, and we facilitate conversations with extraordinary people about their lived experience and their experiences and their stories of wellness. We love talking to people. We love seeing life through the eyes of others so that we can get a fuller view of life, because when we only look at life through our eyes, we have a distorted view. But when we add the thoughts, the experiences, the opinions of other people, we get a broader, more full view of what life really is, and gives us such an opportunity then to be able to serve people, to help people, and know where to meet people where they are. We always talk about meeting people where they are, but if we're not seeing life through their eyes or hearing their words or grabbing their emotions, then how can we really meet them where they are? So, with all of that said, welcome. We love you. Come on board, hang out with us. Extraordinary people. Remember that. We have two extraordinary people that are going to be our guests tonight. Lisa Kaye, talk to us. How are you, my friend? What's going on with you? You look like you're really chilling down there at the Ponderosa.
I am, Aaron. It's thundering in South Carolina. It's a great day to be in South Carolina. So if you ever call the government or the Capitol or any government agency in the state of South Carolina, that's how they answer the phone. It is a great day to be in South Carolina. So so it is. There is some thunder going on. So I ain't scared if you ain't scared.
Hey.
Yeah. Yep, sitting out here, wanted to be out on the porch. I started my day out here on the porch 6:30 this morning, doing just for today, and then was doing work all day in the house. So I decided I wanted to come back out and in my day at 6:30 p.m. on the porch. I have a sign out here that says "What's said on the porch stays on the porch." Um, yeah, it really, there's a lot of secrets held on this porch and in my heart, but it's a lovely place to be. A lot of tears been on this porch, a lot of laughter, hope and dreams, and I do kind of live on the Ponderosa, I feel like, and got lots of things to look at, and I'm just glad to be alive today and here tonight with you.
Hey, Lisa, it's a good day to be alive. Lisa, with what we do, you and I on Wednesday nights at 6:30, going back to our caption, we facilitate conversations with extraordinary people. And tonight we are privileged to hang out with two of the most extraordinary people that I have ever met. This is the host edition of Through the Eyes of Others, and the hosts, Extraordinary Aaron and Extraordinary Lisa Kaye. We are our own guests today. We just wanted to sort of woo-saw a little bit, talk about some things, share some thoughts and experiences, and um, hope that you join us, family. It's more like of a. I remember when, excuse me, FDR was in office and Jimmy Carter was in office. I don't remember when FDR was in office. I read about FDR being in office, and they would have fireside chats where
Hmm.
they would sit by, and people had radio then, not TVs, with FDR, and they would sit in by their fireplaces and listen to um, the president just be able to talk about national affairs and things dealing with the country. Jimmy tried those things too. This is Lisa and Aaron's fireside chat tonight,
Yeah.
family. We are the extraordinary people. This is the host edition, And we're going to do this from time to time to sort of look at things through our eyes, right? We spend so much time looking at life through the eyes of others. We want to share through our eyes. If you have an opportunity, please share the conversation on all of your social media platforms. Please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Still trying to get those that first 10,000, so we can work on the next 10,000. I'm dedicated. I am committed to making sure that happens. Lisa Kaye will be checking in on our chat and our community and seeing what people are chiming in on. And Lisa, I'm ready to get started. And let's have our first host edition of Through the Eyes of Others. So, Lisa, it's been about a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been about a year, and it's been a success. And I want to thank you. It's been an honor to hang out with my partner in crime. For those who don't know, Lisa and I are co-directors of the Wellness and Recovery Hub at Promise Resource Network. We work alongside each other. We share the same office. She's the yin to my yang, and vice versa. We are complete opposites, but our gifts and talents connect, and we are always marching in the same direction. Sometimes fighting and fussing and screaming, but we're always marching in the same direction. And so, for us, through the eyes of others, was just a natural connect and a natural fit, because this is what we do. This is what we do every day. We minister, we love, we serve, we support, we encourage people all day long, and we do it. We do it as a team. We do it as a squad, and everybody knows that when you come, you got to come for the squad. It's Lisa and I, and Lisa, I have been blessed to be able to just work with you. Um, we've seen so many victories, right? We don't even see losses or failures, right? We just shape things as they come, and we always turn our lemons into lemonade. And so I thank you so much for that. And so I guess this is my right now. I want to take the time. We do this with other people every week. I want to do this for you right now, Lisa. Um, what you bring to the table, as far as who we are as Promise Resource Network. Starting there, there's a larger picture, but starting there, you help so many people, you bless so many people, you serve so many people. You really dig in to help people figure out what's next and next step. And it's an honor to hang out with you, Lisa K. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to bring watermelon and cantaloupe. Um,
that's the cost.
Brownie.
That's the cost for the praise.
Yeah, this is a cost of loving people,
Yes, the
right?
cost of loving
Yeah,
people.
absolutely. Well, Aaron, you know what? We are so different, and I think I don't know what they were thinking when they put us together, but I'm glad they did. And I think they thought we were going to, just fight it out and kill each other, probably. But we showed them, didn't we?
Well, them, didn't we?
Yeah, we won't tell them about the times that we almost fought and killed each other. But it is a privilege working with you too. I learned a lot from you, and you've been that champion for me when I needed it. And we work in tandem. And we are. I told you the other day they need to make a cartoon after us because you're 6'9". I'm barely 5'6". You're African American. I'm not. You're a male, I'm a female. Standing beside each other, we got to look funny. We really got to look funny. Um, but those who take the opportunity to get to know us know that we draw from each other's strengths, and um, we raise each other up, and that's what a team does. And we model that at PRN. And um, the two most probably unlikely people to ever team up in the history of Promise Resource Network teamed up, and it has been a ride. It really has. But we have learned so much together, and this through the eyes of others was your brain, your child, right? That we were just when we were in the middle of COVID and trying to come up with ways to bring virtual recovery conversations.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how this thing even got started and why?
Well, it got started, as you just said, us trying to figure out how to go from the in-person platform to continue to build out so that we could reach people with wellness and recovery. And then you being that expert is what we like to call it, right? That expert on vicarious trauma, that person who brought this is how we met. When you came to PRN all those years ago and began doing those workshops for us, those trainings. And so we wanted to be able to talk about what vicarious trauma looked like as we were absorbing, one of my new favorite words, as we were was absorbing COVID-19, quarantine, isolation, the bombardment of news, the fears, the paranoia, the anxieties, everything that came with it, right? We wanted to talk about what others or how people react and what they were thinking about. And so we talked about the vicarious trauma, the trauma of not just loving, because we talk about that, but that trauma that comes from watching everybody else go through this, family members, loved ones. And so I remember telling you that many years ago, I wanted to write a book about my life story. Many people had encouraged me to do so. I've had an interesting journey, and I wanted to name it through the eyes of my mother because I lived so much of my life through my mother's eyes. I was her only son. I spent a lot of years with just she and I, a lot of conversations, and so a lot of the things about me, a lot of my characteristics, a lot of the way I move comes from Mary being Mary Wells' son, and so that's where the name "Through the Eyes of Others" came from. So it was the idea collectively that you and I had of how do we now help people to tell their COVID story, tell their story, their right now story. And so that name Through the Eyes, that title Through the Eyes of Others is what caught. And so we've had a great year. We've had a lot of wonderful people, extraordinary people with some extraordinary stories. Anything over the last year, Lisa, that sort of stuck out with you? We have talked to a whole bunch of people, buddy.
I know. I think for me, we always kind of, something that really strikes us that we can relate to. We've had a lot of wonderful, gosh, recovery, like unbelievable recovery champions that should write their own books, right? Um, but some of the folks, I really I couldn't quite, relate to some of it other than, with family members and different people that I knew. But for me, I think one of the beginning episodes that we had was some of your family members, people you knew in Philly who had lost children.
Yeah.
Um, and so that was that was a very moving thing for me to be able to talk about my story, losing my daughter, and then be able to connect with these other ladies that didn't even live around here that you connected us with. That's what was one of the most beautiful things about COVID is that we get to really connect and love on people and build relationships with people that are thousands of miles away from us or whatever. So, especially from Chester, South Carolina, right? So, that really stuck out to me, and so many of the other ones just wowed me. Um, I don't even know how many episodes we've done, but
We've
I
done a
know that
bunch.
every, huh?
We've done a bunch.
Yeah, we have, and I would love to have like a recap, just do a video of a recap of some really great moments in each one of those, highlighting that champion, that extraordinary person that really drove home their recovery and what they were about. It would make an amazing video. What about for you? What stood out for you as a video?
That one is one that definitely stood out for me. At the time, I recall I was in Atlanta because my cousin Sherry, my cousin Butter, had transitioned. She passed, and I was officiating her service. And while down there is when we met. We had Angela and Loretta on, and
Yeah.
you were able to join in, and that you three ladies um, just loved on each other, shared your pain, shared your journey, shared some triumph. Um, that really stuck out with me a lot when we did our COVID,
Mm.
and people talking about what they had gone through with COVID. We've had so many people on who are survivors of the incarceration experience,
Yep.
and male, female. We've had people in different walks of life currently who have experienced and survived incarceration, and those
Mhm.
stories always impact me. You know, my heart for reentry. I'm a firm believer that um, for community, true champions, many of the true champions that could change the world are locked up. They're locked down. They're behind bars, and so I've always been a champion for men and women who survive incarceration. So that those were some that really impact me. Our guy, our friend that worked with you at VR, who grew
Yes,
up,
Bill Cruz.
yes, who grew up in both the world of hearing, correct?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. They were both his parents were deaf.
yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Both his parents were deaf, and so he was bilingual.
Hmm. He was.
A
He is.
whole different take on bilingual. So we've just had so many great, impactful times with people. Our own staff, right? One of the things we've done is when people come on board, we pop them up here so that the world can meet them and see
Yeah.
them. And so we've had so many interesting stories about and from our team members. And there are quite a few that stick out. Lisa, I don't want to slight anyone from not mentioning theirs, but it was quite a few that really stuck out and impacted. So it's just been a great a great year of being able to hear stories. Can I run a couple of numbers by you real quick?
Sure.
Since last month, the 4 episodes of July and then one for August, um, we have reached over 1,700 people through the eyes of others. We're through the eyes of others. We are, and as you know, that's what you and I do. We keep these numbers. Thank you, Ariel. Shout out to you, good
Yeah.
buddy, for making these possible. We are over the year and a half that we have gone to a virtual platform through the eyes of others is the most watched uh, offering on the PRN network, I like to call it.
Yeah.
And so I want to thank you for that. The time that we take to invite guests, the time that we take to really allow them the space to tell their stories. I think that people are tuning in, and that through the eyes of others is we're making an impact there, Lisa K.
Yeah. We are. Yeah. We are.
Yeah.
We want to see who's on right now.
Let's do that. Let's do
All
that.
right. Well, we got some folks chiming in, and Ariel says little homies in the house.
All right, little homie.
Yep. Thank you, Ariel, for grinding out some of our numbers today and helping us kind of get a good picture of what virtual world has looked like since we kind of came on back. Well, since we came back on board, opening up the hub. We've kept our virtual going, so we needed to keep that information in front of us to see how to drive this thing, right?
Mhm.
And Ariel helps get that blueprint for us, so we don't sit around going, "Well, I think people like it." Well, numbers don't lie. So,
Numbers don't
but
lie.
yeah, thank you, Ariel. Aaron and I can't do what you do, and we appreciate you every stinking day. Uh, what you do for us. Kelly Little's in the house.
Uh-oh, we got a Kelly Little sighting.
We
That's my
do,
dude.
we do. And we have Mr. Allen on with us,
Hey,
ready to
Alan.
listen and learn. Um, and Mr. Allen, we learn a lot from you each day that you grace us with your presence, and glad you are here with us tonight. We have Miss Kim Porter telling everybody hello, and we have Miss Zari, one of my girls,
Hey,
as I
Zari.
call her, one of the most beautiful spirits I've ever met, saying hello to us, and one of our own, Miss Erin P, as we call her at work, saying hello. And she definitely, I like the idea of us doing the recap
Yeah.
of through the eyes of others. So yeah, we need to get somebody on that. Not me and you, but somebody.
We actually have somebody that's working on the best of, and so we're
All right.
just waiting for that to get finished. So yeah.
Yep. Well, Miss Nerd Ariel says she likes numbers. Well, we're glad you do. And Kelly just offers peace, blessings, and elevation family. So,
That's my guy right
yep,
there.
absolutely. So, guys, you keep chiming in as we bring up different stuff through the eyes of others. Maybe you had a favorite through the eyes of others, or something you want to say about that, or suggestions of folks you'd like to see us bring on through the eyes of others. We'll do our best. Um, so just let us know. Just keep piping in there and chiming in.
Two of the other episodes that stick out, along with some, was the one with Kelly being on with Kelly and Barjan when we did our salute to our veterans,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then when we did those our episodes with our transgender community.
Yes.
The courage of the courage of our family, the courage of our transgender community to come on and to share life, and that's not the easiest story to tell, and to be able to share that, it was just so much courage,
Yep.
and that word can't escape me when thinking about that, and so the how courageous our trans community was to come and share. So those are some that sort of stick out, Lisa.
Yeah, I think every guest we've had, including ourselves at times, that we've chimed in, um, are so willing to be vulnerable, right? And because when you tell your story, helping folks see through your eyes, you're sharing some painful, dark places. You're painting a picture, so to speak, of for folks so they can understand where you're coming from. I like to call them those isms.
Mm-hmm.
People who really need to understand Lisa, those Lisa isms that a lot of folks laugh about, but it's coping mechanisms, right? For me, and where they come from, everybody's got them. So everybody that comes on here really just almost just splits their self wide open for the whole world to see, um, and that they're willing to do that because it's about inspiring others that there's hope. Um, that this is a day that we can all celebrate no matter what. And we've had people on there that you go, oh my gosh, I don't know that I could have put one foot in front of the other. Um, but it's that inspiration that we need, and to better understand, like with our transgender family, being able to see through their eyes, be able to walk with them and get a better understanding of their life and how we what they need for support and love. And through so many of our episodes, people tell us what they need. They
Yes.
tell us what they need as far as love. They opened our eyes, like you brought up Bill Cruz. He opened up our eyes to the deaf of what it was like to grow up as a hearing child with his parents both being deaf.
Yeah.
And and we never thought about that during COVID, what that was like for our family
Mm-hmm.
that are struggling with hearing loss or complete hearing loss. What was COVID like for them? What was it like for Bill, who is hearing and he's an interpreter, having to communicate such news and things around COVID? So that was a great episode.
Yeah.
Really open, and a lot of them really opened up our eyes to walks that we may not have considered.
Yes. Hey,
Really.
when we our episodes of first responders,
Yep.
during COVID, our parenting during COVID,
Hmm.
so much right around meeting people right where they are and right where they were during this period of time. And some of this conversation tonight, we're going to talk about where we still are, right?
Hmm.
And some of the concerns and how to shape, um, and thus our virtual platform that no matter what, sunshine or rain, that we're going to be here and we're available and we're going to be on your platforms and in your homes and on your devices, bringing wellness and recovery, conversations of healing and wellness into wherever you are and wherever you allow us to come into.
We have
Lisa,
to. We have to do that. But
yeah,
for us, for me, um, I don't just get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for the heck of it. I have to work hard every day to keep my brain moving, keep my heart moving, and everything moving simultaneously, right?
mhm,
And so we people in recovery, they just don't realize what goes into that. And so being able to highlight and have our virtual platform And I feel so blessed that we have so many people that love to hear this country girl talk and hear Philly come on and do his thing, and even us together. And so many of our all of our folks are so unique that come on. Our facilitators come from all different walks. Man, I need it.
Hmm.
I need it.
Yeah, you and
And
I
I would
both.
have been the last one to ever say, because I fought tooth and nail not to go virtual, because I said nobody's going to want to hear me talk.
Mhm.
I'm about as country as fried chicken and about as silly as a goose. So, and got all kind of sayings. And I said, y'all don't want me on there.
Mhm.
Um, and I fought it till I couldn't fight it
Till I
anymore.
won. You
You
fought it
won.
till I won.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was probably the last person on board. I said, I'll support and help, but don't put
Mhm.
me in there. Please don't do that. But I thought COVID was going to be over in a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
Or then I said, well, in another 6 weeks. And he said, well, Lisa, it don't matter. You coming on board. We got to have you because this thing's growing. And so I bit the bullet. And, but now I have to have it. I have to do it. It keeps me in my recovery and it keeps me young.
And then Lisa, so as we spin off, right? And you talked about the need because I get that, right? This is as much a part of the recovery of the facilitator and the host and the wellness and the healing as it is for those that we're sharing
Mhm.
the platform with. And we
Absolutely.
get to hear these stories because many of these stories we know before we bring them on and present. We've already
Mhm.
shed the tears. We've already had the heartfelt moments, right? We already understand and to know. I want to talk about the spin from this, the spin off, right? When you when you began, and we talked about just for today, this is something that you did in person at PRN before we shut down last year in 2020. It was a class that was well attended, especially by our guys who were in some of the recovery places who came and they needed
Yeah.
that before to start their day. You have your own personal walk that this is attached to that motivates this. Lisa, the two different platforms. This is the last thing on a Wednesday night, but you're the first thing that people see now on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays to get us launched as a PRN network. You get that thing rolling. Lisa, what is it about you, this balance between what we do here and what you do with Just for Today? And why is Just for You? Explain why this is important. Why is Just for Today just as, if not more important, for you and for the people that you give it to every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah. Well, part of recovery is giving, right? And so I just felt like, Aaron, that there had to be people out there like me, not many, but I do get up early. I don't like to sleep, and I say that all the time. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't like to sleep. I don't like to nap. I don't like to do none of that. I want to live. I have been held down for so long, and I don't even want to start crying about it, but I have, and every moment that I can be awake, I want to be grinding and digging and planting flowers and working on my recovery, talking to people, talking to you, planning, whatever. Because I always say I am, and you know it. We all know it. We might as well face it. I know some of our staff don't like to hear it, but I am in the fourth quarter of my life.
I am.
I really am. I'm a grandmother. I'm not, I'm proud of my age. I don't try to hide it but it's been a rough go. And so I just felt like somebody out there had to be like me who gets up early and who needs that recovery right out the gate. And so we had not had one. And I said, I'm up anyway. That's going to keep me on my toes, right? Because there are some mornings that I'll roll back over, but I can't do that now, and I love it. And when I see at 6:30 in the morning, 5, 6, 10, 12 people coming on live with me, I just it's men and women. I really visualize this circle, and I really all I can see is their little Facebook pictures and things like that. But I really feel like this is my little unique, intimate recovery family, like we're back in the day, right at 1041. I love being outside, and to me, scenery does something for me. So I try to move it around. I hate being in the house. So even in the wintertime, just for today's are going to be in the snow. It's going to be wherever I can find to go to just hear birds, water, whatever, kind of like a natural meditation, get your day kicked off, get recovered. We don't give recovery enough credit.
Hmm.
Um, we really don't. And I'm telling you, your day needs to start every day with something around your recovery and getting real with you. And just for today, uh, just as one of those slogans in my recovery that really kept me in check because I was one of those people, right? And so when I really got that slogan, it's like, well, darn, I can do something just for a day. Darn, I can write in a journal just for a day, and the next thing I know, 15 years later, I'm still writing in a journal, right? But there are things that we try that we go, well, I did that. That didn't really have that. I did. I'm not even going to say it because I will get, but there's a certain exercise out there that you stretch your body and lift your legs and all that. I tried it. Wasn't my thing. I'm sorry, y'all. It's called yoga. But guess what? I tried it just for a day. It's not my deal. It's okay. So y'all don't get upset about that. So it is just one of those things that I needed to try to see if there was other people like me out
Hmm.
there. But whether you watch it later too, because not everybody gets up at 4 a.m. Not everybody gets up at 6 a.m., right? I don't know why you don't. I really don't. Because there's going to come a time you're going to be asleep for a long time. I just don't get the deal about sleeping. But I'm thankful that I don't. And I do get enough. I do. I've researched it. So all that stuff about 8 and 9 and 10 hours is for the birds. For the birds. And I'm healthy. I'm probably the healthiest person at PRN.
Hmm.
So I don't want to hear any negative naysayers about when I get up, when I go to bed.
Ain't nobody saying nothing to you, woman, about when you get up. Sure. You act like somebody just called in and said, "Why do you get up so early?" Anybody saying nothing to you about when you get up?
Oh, all the time I get it. But you know what? I'm grateful for you, Aaron, that you gave me the opportunity to try because I didn't know if anybody would come on. I didn't know if we'd have 2 views or 20 views. We didn't know. So it was, and it's really grown, and I love it, and I hope it keeps growing. I think you're trying to talk me into doing it 5 days a week, which I can, because I'm doing it anyway. But I just appreciate the opportunity to do it, and everybody that comes on is just like they're right there with me,
Yeah.
and they chime in. I mean, sometimes we have 18, 20, 25 comments at 6:30 in the morning.
Hmm.
People are chiming in, and that is, whoo, that just shows us all that it really is a good thing to get up early and get your day started with just for today.
That's for the day, and get
Yeah.
into. We talked about this a little earlier off camera. Um, People yearning for devotion.
Yeah.
People yearning for meditation. Kelly, my healing circle guy. People are yearning for those moments to be able to. Um, Today, I don't have a problem pilfering, and so my class today at 11:30 had a lot to do with your theme from this morning. Just we talked about the harmony of today. We talked about what that meant just to find our personal harmony, and it took
Mhm.
us so many places. It was a nice group of people. The point that I'm making is that that 6:30 devotion spilled over and continued conversations, right? That was separate from that 6:30 time slot, but it gave the energy to be able to say, let's dig in for just for the day. So Lisa, we thank you for that. It changes the platform of PRN, and that's what through the eyes of others and some of our innovative platforms offerings have done on this platform. It just changed how we do virtual. We've learned, we've grown, and we're adding to it. And so we really appreciate that. What you got down there in South Carolina? Was that a truck, a rooster, a crow? What was that?
Well, it was so funny this morning. I told everybody on just for today that I live in York, well, in Chester County, right outside of York County, and logging is a big deal here. Big old trees, right? And so one came by this morning, and I believe he's the same one. They work long, hard hours, so he went by about 6:37 this morning. It's 7:05. He's just going home. He lives right down the road in his big old truck. So yeah.
I hope he got his logs. He's been going all day. Hope he got his
No,
logs.
he's got empty. He's done made his money.
Oh, okay. All right.
He done made his money.
Maybe I should have got into logging.
Yeah, you
Hey,
don't want to have a you don't want to be going home with logs on your truck. You didn't make no money.
all right.
That's
Bad,
right.
bad. So if I see that, I know it's a bad move, right?
Yeah, bad move. Didn't make it to the paper mill in time.
So Lisa K, some of the things that we've talked about, you and I want to touch base on just a few. I want to start with this. Thank you. Um, I went home finally to Philadelphia, my beloved Philadelphia, 2 weeks ago. Um, After a year and a half absence, which for everybody who knows me, I was going to Philly once a month for the last 7 years, and COVID shut that down. COVID shut that down. And I had so much anxiety about my return. You know, it was just it was different. It was a whole different mindset for me that I wasn't grasping. And I remember at work, when you basically told me, in lieu of a better way to put it, you basically told me to relax and calm the hell down. Basically, um, I think I was ready to fire a couple of people. I was really like wound, and it was all about my return home. Um, it was one of the most beautiful weekends that I have had. It was my return home for birthday celebrations. My This Friday, my youngest sister turns 50. On the 23rd, on the 20th of July, my sister D turned 65. And between my mom's birthday, she would have been 86. On the 22nd of July, my sister Ted would have been 66 last Wednesday. And so we've always historically celebrated those birthdays with my mom transitioning and my sister gone. It became a special event, those birthdays. And that returning home, the whole COVID scenario, just so many different things in the last year and a half. My North Philly Project family wanted to reconnect with them. I don't know. It just was so much anxiety that I was carrying, and so I want to thank you for understanding and seeing, because I know I wasn't the best person to work with those last couple of days, but you helped talk me through it, and that's what we do. That's how we support one another. Our whole organization, we're built like that, right?
Yep.
Because of our lived experience, we get to see, yo, you ain't smiled in 2 days. Let's talk about it. And because we spend so much time living life through the eyes of others, because our stories are our resume. Our stories are what gets us employed. Our stories are what gets us in the door. And when I'm surrounded by people like yourself who can look in and say, "Hey, time out, Big Aaron," right? Let's regroup. I'm listening to you. I'm watching. I'm seeing. I want to thank you so much, as my partner, to be able to say, "Hey, look, man, relax, take it easy. It's going to be all right." And it turned out to be absolutely magnificently wonderful. Um, my sisters were so happy to see me. I did what I always do. I served my family, had an opportunity to do that, and see my cousin Brian, who I love, and some others. My niece, who has just grown up and she's a chef now. That's what she calls. She doesn't call herself a cook. I'm a chef. And so it was just great to be able to see them. And there was such an energy. And one of the things I shared with you on my travel was that I sort of left North Carolina behind. I sort of left all the things that entailed isolation and quarantine and COVID scare, my paranoia that I had for over a year. I sort of left that behind, and I was able to go home and get the medicine that has always been the best medicine for me, which is my family. And it was really good. It was delicious. So I just want to let everybody know that all is well on this side of the camp, and that if you have opportunity, those that you love, make sure you're reaching out. Those that you care about, make sure you're reaching out. Stay in communication. Sometimes for a year and a half it was Zoom, so sometimes it's the technology. As much as you can, being safe, being smart. See if you can get into the space of those that you love. So I just wanted to holler out and shout that out because it meant so much to me. It's put me in a whole different space and energy. Now I'm ready to create and get a couple of things done. Who's on the chat, Lisa K?
Oh, wow. Well, we got a lot of chats going on. Um, let's see. So, Miss Zari is just, giving us accolades like she does so much, and she's such a warrior, and I'm so proud of that young lady. We need to have Miss Zari on through the eyes of others very soon. So,
All right,
Zari
Zari.
is still with us.
You're coming
Uh,
soon, Zari.
yeah, we need to have Miss Zari on. She is just the sweetest, and amazing individual. And man, if she'll come on with us and she'll agree to let me tell funny stories about her in the beginning of our relationship, it'll be a great episode. But only with her permission. Only with her permission. So Mr. Kelly said every episode he watched brought a different blessing, as they illuminate the power of the people. Wait a minute. Proximate to pain, triumph, healing, and authenticity that
All right.
elevates us all.
All right.
Um, and then Sean, is that how you say that? Sean Mitchell
Yes.
loves my country voice. Yay. There's one of you out there. I love you, Sean. You're my best friend now. Um, yes, yes. So he's a northerner, and that's coming from a northerner.
Mhm.
You can't talk about me now. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Erin talks about Just for Today. It's her favorite because we know why she's saying that. So, but I like what she said. We keep what we have by giving it away, right?
Yeah.
And I talked about that this morning. Another beautiful person reminded us all, I think it was on Monday, that when you think you have it all, you've actually lost it all.
Mhm.
Like you've gotten there, like you have reached that recovery ring and you're about to pull it down. You actually just lost the whole game.
Okay.
So we got to keep giving it away, keep giving away. Miss Amy's on here saying that she loves Just for Today.
Hey, Amy.
Hey, Amy, thank you. Um, Miss Zari's doing her beautiful things that she does. She's going to make a great peer support specialist one of these days. And she thinks that I'm beautiful and wise. Zari, you need to stop. So, yeah,
Zari, we already having you on, Zari. Okay, we already got you coming on.
yeah. But Erin said there's nothing better than starting our day with some Lisa Kaye.
Mhm. That
That
rhymes.
rhymed. She said that rhymed. But seriously, Just for Today is a very intimate, it's a beautiful twist to being in the rooms.
Absolutely.
The rooms. Yeah, I agree. Um, Zari says hello. Yes. So I'm guessing she's saying yes, she will be on with us.
Hmm.
Is that what you're saying, Zari? You gonna come on Just for Today with us? Yes.
Zari, we wasn't asking.
No.
We
We were
we,
pretty
wasn't-
much telling
yeah,
you.
we weren't asking you, Zari.
Because
That
you
was
are one of us now. You are a
right.
PRN staff person working that warm line, doing some beautiful stuff. So, absolutely. So, yeah, we'll rope her in. And there is Miss Kristen Brown in the house, two of
Hey,
my
B.
favorite peeps. And I told her the other day, I'm just thinking she don't love us no more. She don't come see us no more. So
I
she
just
better.
want to know what part of the world she just came from.
I don't
You know
know.
what I
I think
mean?
she's living in Hawaii
Hey,
somewhere.
listen,
Really,
with Hawaii, Jamaica, Houston,
I
I
don't
ain't
know.
gonna throw it all out there, Kristen, but what we do know is your passport is stamped, girl.
She got that PRN computer. She doing her work, but she's looking at something pretty out there, and it ain't in her backyard. It's some other backyard somewhere.
You know, hey, Lisa, if she loves us, I'm wondering when she's gonna start bringing souvenirs back. That's all I want to know.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Yeah, Tia brought a souvenir, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
So
We'll
pressure's
see.
on,
Oh,
Kristen.
she said Mexico. Okay.
Okay.
And she's laughing and crying, and it's all right. We got something for her. And we had Miss Kristen on. I
Yeah, we
think
had
she
Kristen
was.
on early as a parent,
I
right?
think Kristen might have been our first guest.
As you know what? I think Kristen was our first
She
guest.
was our first guest. She
Yeah.
sure
I think Kristen
was.
was our
Yep.
first guest.
Then we
And we've
have
gone,
Daniel.
listen, it was been wonderful ever since, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Kristen,
yeah,
you launched us, Kristen.
she did. And we have Daniel on giving
Hey,
us a clap.
Daniel.
Yep, we do. That's
So
about it.
so Lisa K, you and
Mhm.
I have been talking about this. Last week we had our good friends from RAO Health, Community Health with us. COVID, the conversation. right? And this isn't about whether you should or shouldn't, but you and I have talked about where what it looks like.
Yeah.
We know that today the judges shut down court. Recovery court is a major part of what we do. Some of our team reported that there are people who are infected rather, with COVID and dealing with COVID. I got news today from someone in my life circle that who works at a hospital, began saying, just talking about some of the stress, the tragedies that are starting to pile up, the numbers that are rising. Our virtual platform became very important for us when the outbreak happened back in February 2020, in March. Lisa, it looks like we're back headed toward more virtual than in person. What's that look like for you? What type of things? How are you processing this? I actually know we talk all the time, but how are you processing this, Lisa, as far as who we are as PRN and just opening up our reconnect and
Yes.
seeing our community come back through Juneteenth and this past week with our open house? People are excited to be there, excited to be back in person, but it's not looking good for the home team right now. What you thinking, Lisa K?
Yeah, it's breaking my heart, but I will say, it's not under our control.
Mm,
I've done what I feel like in my heart is part of my control, what I feel like, and I'm going to continue to practice those things, and keep trying to keep myself safe. But I'm really sad about it. But because we're just like getting started, getting people used to coming back to the hub and doing some live stuff. Um, but I tell you, the one thing, this week I had a great group that I did live at the hub, and we
mhm,
actually talked about what we were feeling about the Delta variant and all these things that we're hearing about. And so, what we began to do is after we named our feelings and talked about that a little bit, we decided that we just weren't going to let COVID wreaked terrorism in our life this time. If it does shut us down, that
mhm,
we were going to be prepared. And I said, well, it's kind of like if you live in those hurricane areas, every year you got to make sure you got batteries, you got flashlights, you got all those things, water, food, non-perishable food, all those things. Making a pandemic a part of our recovery prep, I think is a great idea. And so not to breathe negativity around us, but it's being realistic. I know that there are some souls that I love very deeply that really struggled during the shutdown.
mhm,
And we've chopped it up, as you say, why that was.
mhm,
So why don't we be smart? It's kind of like if you don't have insurance, you're going to have a wreck. And if you do have insurance, you'll never have one. It's one of those different, one day you don't have insurance and boom, there you go. Um, why not have the conversations? I think it's just being positive about your life. Just like when you go out, how around friends and family, you are putting the armor around you. If substance use was an issue in your life, there's certain people, places, and things you got to be prepared. You put that armor around you, right? And you step like you should. Same thing with this. We've got to just not let it take us under, but be ready for it. It's an ugly creature,
mhm,
right? Um, did our world come together and do some amazing things and had some amazing discoveries? God, yes, we did. It changed my life in a lot of positive ways. Not COVID itself, but just the shutdown, right? And all the different things we had to learn. And boy, I do appreciate hugs, right?
mhm,
And being able to kiss my mama and hug my daddy and all those kind of things. So I think it's just being smart. So we had a great conversation, and our group was determined that we were going to take our lives back, and we were going to be smart about it and plan for it, but we weren't going to let COVID rob us of our joy,
mhm.
not one more damn day.
Yeah.
And so we just got kind of mad about it. And
Mhm,
what that spurred is a plan. So some of the folks sitting there said, well, I never have gone on Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hooked those person up with Kim Porter, and I said, "Well, let's don't wait till we. Hopefully, we don't get shut down, but let's don't wait till we do to try to get. Let's do that right now, and you start joining us now and getting in the habit, because you're going to be able. You're going to love it." So we just put a plan together just to get out in front of it and be smart about it. So, but I'm still sad. Um, I do have healthcare worker friends and family who talk to me and Facebook, and it is quite different for them this time around.
Mm-hmm.
The PTSD, the attitude about, a lot of different things. And some of my folks are actually thinking about stepping out of healthcare.
Yeah.
Um, so it's going to be another crisis. And so telling people not to come to the emergency room unless you just have to come, that there may not be a bed for you. Those things like that are starting to like really, I didn't want to hear that anymore.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's where I am. We do have some people chatting about that. If I
Jump on board, Lisa K.
um, so Zari also heard about court today too, and been praying because we know how recovery court is important in our recovery walk. So even when our court sessions get shut down and we don't get in front of our judge, that's a big deal for recovery court. So we got to love on our recovery court people a little bit more this week and next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Kristen says, as a person who has lost family, loved ones, and friends to this virus, I would much rather see those faces virtually than not at all. Absolutely. We all make personal choices around this thing, but I don't want to lose another person.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. And as much as we want to stay together, we realized we kind of really got real about it, Aaron, the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's appropriate to say here on this thing, but we just raw and real. I just said, one person comes to PRN, one staff member comes to PRN, and discovers that they have the virus. Just actually sitting there thinking how many people that affected, because
Yeah.
that was real. We were sitting at PRN with a group
Mm-hmm.
of us. Like, really think about what that means, for the staff, for everyone that comes there, their families. Just think about your PRN family right now that we love and we're enjoying, but just think about how easily this thing can turn around on us. We got to be prepared, and we got to take the precautions that we need to protect. And if PRN makes a decision about some things really soon, we got to respect that, love that. Just like Kristen said, she would love to see people's faces virtually versus not at all. And we
Mm-hmm.
got to ride this thing out like we did, but we're going to do it better this time. We're going to do it better. We already got ideas around it. And I think that's how to defeat this terrorism type feeling that we have. All the things we can't do, we need to focus on all the things we can do, and being thankful for our loved ones and our friends and our PRN recovery champions that are taking care of themselves, who are coming on with us and who are riding this thing out. I think it's just about being prepared and loving on each other virtually if we have to. This will leave. I don't think this is the end of the world. I
Yeah.
just think we got another way. We got to listen and love on each other and encourage each other. Try not to judge, right? If someone doesn't agree like you do, just about anything, but just keep walking the walk, protecting yourself. And that's what we got to do. Um, Zari says, Amen. We don't let COVID take us apart. Again, we will always be connected. That's why I think this virtual platform is going to even be stronger, because we get it now. We
Mm-hmm.
know that we got a screen between us, but we right here. We right
Mm-hmm.
here. We are. Even if we have to talk on the phone, Zoom, whatever we're doing to stay connected as peer support and peers, we are going to embrace that more this time around, if we have to. I really do. I think we will appreciate what we have instead of fighting this technology, screaming through this whole lockdown like we did before. We missed a lot of blessings. We got a lot of blessings, but we missed a lot because we were whining and crying and screaming, can't find no damn toilet paper, and all those things we were doing when we were missing blessing after blessing. I don't think we'll do that this time. I think we'll embrace it. I'm gonna get my house cleaned up. I'm gonna do some stuff that I did not do this whole year. So I just think that we will stay connected. I'm gonna fight it all the way, and I'm gonna reframe any negativity that I hear come out of anybody's mouth. So if you're in my presence and you start being negative about, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? I'm going to help you reframe that. What you think about is what you bring about. Amen.
You
So we
know,
also
go ahead.
have Kristen say, I agree, Lisa, and I'm going to give it back to you, Aaron, because I done got on a roll. I have not made the choice to become vaccinated. And I can't imagine if I were the cause for someone to pass due to the want to see someone, oh, it moved on me, face to face. A true connection to heart, not face to face. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So we have to make those choices, and then we got to still protect ourselves, just like Kristen said. And virtual may have to be what we do for a while.
I just wanted to jump in on this one, and your role is cool because it's the role we talked about being on, so we're good. Um, this is when, for me, and for anybody that's listening, everybody that's listening, this is when there's a distinction in my world between people in recovery and people not.
Mm,
There's not just the resilience. Recovery is a series of learned lessons,
yep.
right? First, we learn why whatever we're recovering from wasn't good for us. Then we learn how to build out of whatever was not good for us into what is good for us. Then we learn how to sustain it. Then we learn how to share it. Then we learn how to help others build. 2020 was such a learning mechanism for us.
Mm-hmm.
Us, our learning, our virtual platform at PRN, where we have reached over 150,000 people since March of last year. And that's from some people who didn't know what the heck they were doing when they got started.
That's true.
Right. And I want to take a moment right now and think about from this onset. I want to thank you, Lisa. I want to thank Jane. I want to thank Sharon. I want to thank definitely Amanda, Gabby. I want to thank Kim Lewis from the grant perspective and helping us to figure out how to get some other people virtual. I want to thank Ariel who's taking it over. I want to thank you, Kristen, for keeping those numbers in front of us to
Yes.
encourage us when we started. Because if we didn't have those numbers, actually we would have been a little despondent. But you kept saying, we reach how many, Kristen? And so let's do this again. And so
And they don't live in the United States.
yeah,
Where they were
in
from.
North Carolina. And so my point with this is, and I heard you, and I'm grabbing something yet again today, Lisa, that you said, and here's the deal. We did miss a lot of blessings, but we figured a lot of things out. And so I'm not saying COVID, come on, we got something for you. What I am saying that if when you show up, we're here. And it's not, this isn't 2020. And we're not running. We'll be smart. We'll be vigilant. We'll do those things that display wisdom in our lives and our decision making and how we take care of each other, right? But
Yep.
what we won't do is stop living.
Mm-mm.
And what we won't do is stop sharing wellness and recovery. And what we won't do is move ourselves from the lives of the people who need us most, and that's the people who we used to be. And so I am really excited about, because everybody who knows me knows, out of all of my Aaronisms, another one is that opportunity always comes out of crisis.
Yep.
And so we have this opportunity to create. And you said it earlier, Lisa, some great things came out of that. We saw some amazing things happen. And here's another thing, right? There are those who need us. There are those whose heads will be down. There are those whose shoulders will be slumped. There are those, we talked about our friends in the healthcare. They're about to and are going through it again. Somebody has to hold their hand up and say, you're a champion. Yep. Somebody has to be able to say, hey, you take a break. I've got this for the moment. And Kristen, you're absolutely right. Some of this stuff is just going to have to be virtual. It's going to have to be on our platform of computers and telephones. Every now and then we get to stand 6 feet apart with our mask on and, yo, what's up? But what we're not going to do, we're not going to quit. We're not going to give up, because that's just not who we are. No. We are people of wellness. We are people of recovery. We are people of healing, and we are champions. And our life resume has said and told us that we get through the tough stuff.
Yep.
And so here we are, right? Lisa, I am so looking forward to moving forward with Through the Eyes of Others. people that we have lined up, some more extraordinary people with wonderful stories of wellness and recovery. Lisa, I want to thank you so much for the last year. You are a great partner. You're the best partner I've ever had. We really do the damn thing, and we do it as opposites. That's what I love, right? We do it as opposites because in reality we have more in common than people figure,
Right.
than people give us credit for.
That's
And it
right.
begins with the heart that we have for other people.
Yep.
I appreciate you. I love you. And I'm gonna show you how much I care about you, Lisa. Boom! You know what time it is. Let's go, Lisa. Your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Kim Porter's job right here. Oh gosh, guys. Well, I tell you what, right now, you know, we're ready. We're going to be just fine, and this welcome desk is going to be just fine. You got any questions of what's going on at PRN? You call Miss Kim Porter. You call that number 704-390-7709, and Kim's going to let you know what's going on, get you in touch with any of us, anything that you need, explain what we're doing at PRN. I got skeeters biting me right now. Sorry. And so yeah, you just call Kim. She's got that going on for you. So she's there 8 to 4:30 answering that phone. She is live at the hub about 3 days a week right now, to receive folks as they come, as I said, right now. So but regardless of what happens, that number is open and it's ready for you to call if you need to know anything.
Here you go, Lisa. Since I didn't get you anything for Christmas, boom.
This is Zari's job. Yeah, this is just an extension of PRN that we started right when COVID hit and shut us down, the warm line, and it is going strong and it ain't going nowhere. And so we thought, it's like COVID got us to start the warm line, but COVID is not going to be the reason we keep the warm line. The warm line, I believe, will continue even when COVID is just, in the history books, we hope, right? It is a free, confidential way for you to call. You're feeling distressed. You don't know what's going on. You just need somebody to talk to. These are peer support specialists who have lived experiences that they are there to listen, love on you, offer up their own lived experience for hope. Listen to what your options are, maybe give you some resources, some ideas, and you can call us many times as you want, 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, it don't matter. They're there 24/7. And these are recovery champions that are there. They're not clinicians. It's not a crisis line. It's just a beautiful way to talk to someone that's been there, done that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Lisa, Kay, thank you so very much. Everybody, this has been and is and will be through the eyes of others. This is me and my sidekick, my partner, Lisa Kay. We facilitate conversations with extraordinary people. And today, this day, you hung out with two of the most extraordinary people I know, and that's me and Lisa Kay. And so we love you. We thank you. We thank you for being extraordinary. Please make sure you share this on your platforms. It was the host edition. We just wanted to sit back and let us sort of take it for a spin today. And we'll put it back in the garage. And next week we'll have our guest, somebody that you'll absolutely love to hear. So whatever you do, stay safe, stay vigilant, and please make sure that you're loving as much as you can love. Let it pour out. We need more of that. Okay, Lisa Kay, I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
See you later. We out of here. The boat is in the dock.
Bye, guys.